guys, welcome back to Shy Shenanigans. I'm Nicole and I'm so happy that you're here. Today I thought I might try and give you guys another WIP Chat. It's been a hot minute, and the last time that I did this, it was like probably the beginning of the month. So it's been a little while. Life has been a bit, I wouldn't really say crazy, just a bit much for me, so I haven't really been up for sitting and talking. Usually by this time of night I am feeling a bit nonverbal, and so it's kind of hard to do WIP Chat like that, and this is really my only time to do those. But today I was feeling better, so I thought I would give it a go. So today I'm working on Jupiter by Roy Trinh from Diamond Art Club for Sophie's Sailor Summer event. I actually started this one last year for the event, and I got probably about a quarter of the way up on the bottom and figured, like, this year I'm gonna start on the top. So here we are. This is the third section, excuse me, of the first row. I have a little tickle in my throat today too, so I apologize if I have to stop and drink some water or if I cough a little bit. Accessories wise, over here I've got, I'm gonna zoom you guys out a little bit so you can see a little better. I have a Bijou Bliss cover minder slash trash tray. I'm using a pink Lean Boy cat-proof tray. I don't know if you guys can see that. I really like cat-proof trays. They're the first nice tray that I ever bought, so I have a lot of them. And I'm using a pen from Lays and Lathe Works, who he might be my top pen turner at this point. It's probably a tie, I think, between him and Don over at Shimmering Canvases. I have a lot of their pens, and I actually just bought a new one from both of them this weekend that I'll show you guys when they get here. So let's go ahead and get started. I almost finished this section today while my son was taking a nap, but not quite. Not quite before he woke up, and that's okay, that's life. Yeah. Sorry if I end up like pausing and just being quiet for a second. I'm looking for a color at that point. But I hope that you guys had a wonderful week and a great weekend. Mine was pretty good. The weekend was, at least. The week was a bit rough, if I'm being honest. Where is this arrow pointing down? What in the world? It's always when you need the symbol. There it is. But you can't find it. The week was a bit difficult. I think my son might either be catching a cold or he's going through a growth spurt. I'm not sure. But he's 2, and he was just having a week. Which always makes life a bit difficult for everyone because, you know, maybe you don't, but grumpy 2-year-olds are not fun. They're not fun to deal with at all. When he's not having a good time, basically nobody else is allowed to have a good time. That's how that works. So it was kind of like I wasn't really able to do anything right this week in his eyes. Like, everything made him more grumpy, which I know sounds bad, but is actually totally normal for toddlers. Everybody has bad weeks. Toddlers are not different in that respect. I'm going to zoom you out just a little bit more so you can see a little more. Tried zooming. Oof. There we go. I tried zooming in so that you could see the symbols, but maybe this is better. Guys, let me know in the comments below if you prefer, well, for one, if you actually watch the video when you're watching or listening to WIP Chats. and what you prefer. If you prefer to be super zoomed in to see like the symbols and that placement, or if something like this is more your speed where you can kind of see everything. I'd be interested to know. Anyway, so yeah, Ren was having a rough week. So that meant I was having a rough week, which meant my husband was having a rough week. It was just yucky all around. And then by the time I finally got my little monster to bed at night, it was like, don't look at me, don't touch me, don't talk to me. Like, I've spent the last 12 hours, save for like his maybe 2-hour nap, getting yelled at by a 2-year-old. Like, I'm not interested in anything right now. On the plus side, I did get a decent amount of diamond painting done because I just didn't want to do anything once he got down. Yeah, and I was kind of catching a cold. I think I've still got something going on. I'm really hoping it's allergies, but my throat has been kind of blech for the last couple of days, and it hurt quite a bit yesterday. It did get better, which is good, because I was like, oh my god, are we... So, we back up. We went to Seattle this weekend for my husband's work party. They do like a summer party every year for the workers and their families. And it's usually somewhere that's family friendly. So this year it was at the Museum of Pop Culture in downtown Seattle. It used to be called the EMP a really long time ago, I guess. That's what I knew it as. But it was there, so they rented out like the entire building. And so we had like free reign of the museum, which was so cool and so much fun. Ren had a great time, actually, getting to run around and look at all the exhibits, and it was a much more relaxing experience than if we had tried to do it during the day when it was open to everybody else. And we got to spend as much time as we wanted in each exhibit, and like Ren wasn't pushed to the side by other kids because he's small. Well, he's a toddler. He's big for a toddler, but he's only 2. But so we were doing that, and like my throat hurt. Okay, sorry, I paused it for a second because my husband and my son were coming in the back door from their night drive. But like I was saying, my throat hurt on the way there, and it was like, oh my god, am I about to go to this big event with people and their kids while I'm sick? Like, am I that monster? But it totally got better as I drank more, so I'm really hoping it was just allergies. Fingers crossed that I'm not a plague bringer. But so we went over for that, and we went to the Seattle Children's Museum for like an hour beforehand and played around in the park around there, and it was really fun. It was a really nice reset, I think, to a bit of a crummy week. Very much needed. And like, I don't know, so I'll just be honest, I am diagnosed with depression, PTSD, and postpartum depression. So I have like normal depression and mom depression, I guess. But there's just some weeks that are harder than others, and this last week was, I'm not gonna lie and I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, it was pretty rough, mental health wise. But I've got some really amazing friends in town, in person, and online that really came through and just let me talk to them when I needed and just reach out when I was feeling particularly low, which is incredibly helpful. And I will just say, if you are ever feeling sad or alone, or you just feeling low, reach out to somebody. Even if your brain is telling you that nobody wants to talk to you, it's lying. It is lying to you. That's the depression bug. whispering evil in your ear, don't listen to it. Text somebody. Just anybody. Just say hi. Message me on YouTube. If you find yourself feeling just really sad, you can always message me if you don't have anybody else. Or if you do and you just want to. But it was super helpful, and it definitely helped me get through it. And of course my husband, he's wonderful. During those weeks, he's very supportive with that. But I do think I am feeling better, a little bit better, which is nice. Obviously, well enough to do this WIP Chat. I did almost call it tonight because I was like, oh, I have a lot of cleaning to do, and it's Sunday, and it's been a long week, and I was like, no, that just sounds like a lot of excuses. And you guys deserve some, you deserve some me time and not just unboxings, although unboxings are fun. And I do have one coming up. Probably this week I'll post it, of some cross-stitch stuff. And I'll probably have a pen haul. It's not really going to be a small shop haul, it's going to be a pen haul because that's really all I've bought lately is pens. Because how do you not? There's some people buy dice, and I buy diamond painting pens. They're my sparkly, shiny clack clacks. Because, you know, crafters are really just, we're just pros at heart. We just like the shiny stuff. Yeah. Let's see. What else has been going on? I've got, I guess, a little library update. I don't know if I mentioned it to you guys last time. But if you're in Sophie's Discord, you've probably seen some of my updates. I put out a little library, like a little free library out in front of my house at the beginning of July, and it's actually been a pretty big hit in my neighborhood. I put out, it's mostly sci-fi and fiction books because I've noticed like the little libraries in my town don't really have very many of those, and that's what I want to get from a library. And turns out that's what everybody else seems to really want from a library too. When I put out sci-fi and fiction books, they just fly right out of the library, which is fantastic. I also put out some snacks because we live across the street from a park, and like specifically the playground, so I put out some granola bars for the kids, especially during the summer when they're spending so much time over there, and not everybody can go home and get a snack. Not everybody has snacks at home. So I put out some of those. And they're actually all gone, so I need to figure out what I'm gonna put out next. I wanted to put out like maybe fruit snacks, but those are definitely gonna melt in the heat right now. Luckily, our heat is supposed to apparently start going down. It has been in the 90s, like high 90s for a while, but looking at my weather app today, it looked like we might actually get down into the 80s this week, and it is very upsetting that that is considered cool now. I remember growing up and like 80 degrees was very hot. Like, oh no, it must be August because it's 80. Now it's like, oh, it's June, it's 80. And that's nuts, and I hate that, and I hate that that's the world that Ren is going to grow up in, but that's the reality, I suppose. You deal with it. Anyway, so it's supposed to cool off, so maybe I'll put some other snacks out there. But the little library's been helping me meet our neighbors. They come out to talk to me when I'm stocking it with books, and it's been really fun to go out and see that there's like new books in there that I haven't put in there. Turns out I've got a couple people in the neighborhood that have been putting like kids books in there, and I had someone put like a Bible out there, Like, what are you doing? This is not the place for that. And there's like a myth and lore of like Hawaii out there, which I thought was kind of cool. I might actually pull that out and give it a look. And that's one of the other fun things about having a little library is like, then I get to also see a bunch of different books because people are putting other books in there. And that's really fun. And I also put out, I have a little tub in there for surplus craft supplies and supplies that I'm destashing that like I don't necessarily want anymore. And I've actually had quite a few people take some of the yarn out of there, which is fantastic. It needs to go to a new home where somebody will love it and actually use it and not just put it in a bin. And I've been putting out old projects that I've done that haven't like sold at a market, or I decided I didn't want to keep anymore, or like one of the things I'm going to put out there this fall is actually this really cute pair of crocheted slipper socks that I made back in college that I think I may have worn once, and I don't know what happened, but pregnancy stretched my feet out and they don't fit anymore. So instead of unraveling them, I'm just gonna put them out there, and if somebody wants to love them, then they can love them, and then they're not taking up space in my house and reminding me that my feet got fat. I've got some headbands that I made back when I was doing like accessories at craft shows before I got into amigurumi, that never sold. I'm gonna put those out there, and I've got like a pair of mittens that I made that I don't want to wear, and I'm gonna put out there. But it's actually kind of nice, and it's like, okay, so this yarn that I bought that I have an idea for, I can do the idea and then give the item away, so that I get the pleasure of making it, but it doesn't have to take up space in my house. Because that kind of thinking is actually what got my business started in the first place. And it was like, okay, I'm making all this really cool stuff, but where is it gonna go? And then Shire Shenanigans was born. But fun fact, I was not always called Shire Shenanigans. I actually started out as the Crafting Halfling was my business name. I still have the email for it too, and it just kind of evolved from there. Shire Shenanigans was born when I started my Twitch channel, actually, because I was trying to think of a fun Twitch name that didn't mean that I had to do crafting, because I also wanted to play some games too, and I didn't want people to see like, oh, the Crafting Halfling, she must only craft, and I'm in there like playing Graveyard Keeper. So hence Shire Shenanigans was born, and I just kind of adopted that as, that's my overarching name now, because it just kind of encompasses everything. Like, it's my business name, it's here on YouTube, it's Twitch is still around. I do still have my Twitch account, I just haven't streamed in a while. Streaming with a 2-year-old is challenging. That's why we don't have lives. At least not yet. Maybe someday soon. And I actually, so that's how Shire Shenanigans came around, and my diamond painting and cross stitch Instagram, Second Breakfast Stitches, was born because I wanted to keep my crochet stuff and my diamond painting stuff separate, because not everybody who crochets diamond paints, and not everybody who diamond paints crochets. And it helps with what Instagram recommends to me on each page. I wanted to make sure that it wasn't getting like bogged down with one craft or the other. Yeah, that, and my Shire Shenanigans page is technically a business page because that is my business name. And that is what it was originally used for. But now that I'm on like a kind of a sabbatical, I'm hesitant to really call it that, because I'm still making things, and I'll still post some things. Like I really need to post Comic-Con leftovers actually in Etsy, because this year's Comic-Con was very slow and I didn't sell very much. So I've got a considerable amount of leftover stock that can go up for people. I just, you know, there's only 24 hours in a day, and you are supposed to be asleep for some of those. And like, my son is awake for most of those. So it's kind of hard to get good product photos and get everything up. But excuses aside, I am hoping to get those up, let's say by the end of September. I'm going to give myself 2 months. We'll check back then and see if I actually did it or not. Hopefully I did, and I'll post it on both Instagrams, I think, once I get those up. And I'll make an announcement here on YouTube so that you guys know when plushies are up in the shop, if that interests you at all. Absolutely no pressure. If you don't want to buy plushies, you don't have to buy plushies. You can just hang out here for the crafting side of it. But speaking of plushies, I worked on a Bluey plushie during the trip to and from Seattle today. I told a couple of my friends over in the Crafters Den Discord that I would make them Bluey plushies. And it sounds like I've got some requests for Muffin and Bingo as well. So I have the yarn for that. It should be here tomorrow, I think is what Joanne said. So I can get those going, but the first Bluey is almost done. I almost finished the body during the drive today, which is pretty cool. And if I could just sit down and focus, honestly, this Bluey would be done. It's virtually done. There's just a couple more pieces to make, and then probably an hour or two, I think, of sewing. She has a lot of pieces, and I think the other ones do too. And that's fine. I was expecting that, honestly, when I was looking at the, when I was looking at the pattern before I bought it. It kind of looked like there was going to be lots of little pieces, but it's not quite as crazy as the Bidoof that I made that had like, gosh, that thing probably had 30 pieces. That was nuts. This one, Bluey doesn't have that many, but she does have a lot. She is also made in bigger yarn, and that's much easier to sew. So I think it's going to go faster. But yeah, I'll have her done soon, and then I can send her out to my friend Tiffany. I know you're watching this. Your Bluey's almost done. And then I can send it to you, and along with your Ditto. And I love that I got that on camera. So that's the reality of diamond painting. We're gonna pick things up, and I'm just gonna keep chattering. It's a good example of dumb hands. Anyway, Tiffany, your Bluey is almost done, and then I'll get her shipped with Ditto to you soon. Probably by next week. Don't hold me to that, though. Don't hold me to that. Yeah. Has this ever happened to you guys, where you're shaking your drills and then your hands are just like, no, I don't think I'm gonna hold you anymore, and then you just drop them everywhere? This actually happens more often than I like to admit. I drop things a lot, like I just lose grip strength. Is that normal? Maybe that's not normal. It's whatever. We'll just put that on the list of things that should probably be addressed that I don't have time for. Yeah. Are you guys participating in Sailor Summer? This was actually my very first event that I ever did last year as a diamond painter, because I started diamond painting in, well, technically 2022, right before my son was born. I got my first diamond painting. I actually did it during my birth class, because it was 2022, so we weren't doing them in person. It was just Zoom. So I was sitting at my computer listening to this lady who's now a good friend, teach us about birthing babies. Doing a diamond painting. It was a lot of fun. That one was, it was a Grogu from Diamond Dots that I got from Joann's. They were doing like a 40% off sale. And I'd been looking at diamond painting and, you know, kind of thinking about it. And I'd seen all the Diamond Art Club ads. And looking back now, I really wish I'd gotten into it sooner because there were some really gorgeous diamond paintings that were released back in the day that got archived by the time I really got into it last year. But that's life, and there's been several more beautiful diamond paintings that have been released since I got into it that have also been archived, but I own them, so it's like, oh gosh, I'm glad that I got into this. What you guys don't see off screen is that there's a couple more drips up here. Okay, anyway, so let's try and shake that again without dropping our tray. Jeez. But yeah, so that was my first diamond painting, and I really liked it. My dog actually ended up chewing up the toolkit, so my very first one was done with like this chewed up tray and just totally mangled little basic pen because I didn't know about all the nice stuff. I just like, okay, it comes with everything you need, let's do this. Yeah, and then I actually didn't get to diamond paint again for a while, about a year, and then I'm trying to remember what ad it was. Maybe it was for Lady of the Forest. Got advertised to me on Facebook from Diamond Art Club, and I was like, you know, that's gorgeous. I really liked the other diamond painting I did. Let's just do it. And then I bought it, and then I realized that they had an app, and you could just... So, like, while I was breastfeeding, I was just perusing diamond paintings, and I was like, oh, that one's pretty, and that one's pretty, and that one's pretty, and they ended up in my cart. And then I bought them. I think at one point I had made like 3 or 4 purchases in 1 week when I first got started. And it was just so easy. And then now I've got Stash Mountain that you guys really want me to show you. And I will. Probably sooner rather than later. Ren is on the wait list now for a daycare here in town that I really liked when we went to see it, and he seemed to really like. How many times can I say like? He got down and just hung out with the kids while we were there. Just went and joined them. I was like, okay, that's a really good sign, because he's not antisocial, but he is shy. He doesn't typically just walk up and join people. It takes him a minute, but he did. He wanted to be part of it, and so I was like, okay, this is great. The kid actually is into this stuff, and maybe he'll be better about it than I was, because I really hated daycare growing up. But as I'm learning as a mom, Ren is not me. Just because I didn't like something growing up doesn't mean he won't, and I've been doing my best to not influence him with my experiences, because his might be different, and so far they have been, which is great. But the part of that you guys probably care about is that once he gets into daycare, I'll actually have some time during the day that I can start pulling out and organizing Stash Mountain, which is kind of becoming like a Stash Mountain range. Pulling out and organizing those so that I can get ready to do a stash video, stash marathon series. We'll see. As of the time of this filming, there is 300 130 paintings, just about, give or take, in my stash. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say the number. It's around 330 paintings. And I'm telling you that also for accountability. And the hope is that if I keep that number in mind, I will slow down on buying paintings. And I actually have. I really have. Like this last weekend, I wish listed most things. Actually everything. I didn't buy any paintings. I did like a lot of the ones that were coming out, but none of them called to me as must-haves, so I didn't buy any. I do think, depending on how this week goes and how much paying our credit card hurts my soul, I might go make a purchase from Munimade though. They're dealing with a tough time right now. If you guys are in her Facebook group, she posted about how they just did their move into a bigger house to start branching Munimade out more, but her husband just got laid off like as soon as they moved into this house, and his income is their like really steady income, like the one that they can count on, because they're doing well as a business, but business income is very fickle, and it's really scary to have to rely on that entirely, especially now that they've got a bigger mortgage and they have a 1-year-old. So she's going through a lot of stress right now, so I was thinking of making a Munimade purchase of some of the kits I've been looking at, not this weekend but next weekend, to kind of help them out. I get diamond paintings, they get financial assistance. Everyone wins. And she's actually doing a clearance sale on some of their older stock to try and recoup some costs of it. So if you guys have been looking for a small shop to check out and support, you should definitely go look at them, and I'll put a link to their shop down in the description box below to make it a little bit easier on you guys. She did actually just have a new painting release that looked really pretty that I'm kind of eyeballing. Oh, goodness. Yes. I might actually do an accessory stash video first before I do a painting one, just to kind of maybe to get like in the mindset of a stash video and work out some kinks and technicalities for how to do it, because I don't want it to take forever. Although I don't know, maybe let me know if a really long stash video is something that you guys would watch, if you love stash videos that much that you would watch like an 1.5-hour video. Because if that's what you're into, we can do that. I can film a really long video for you guys. Because showing that many paintings is it's not gonna be quick. It's gonna take a minute. That would be kind of like a walk down memory lane. I mean, I have them all in Gemsville, so if I wanted to look, I could, but it's just really fun to pull them out and see what you got. It's like shopping all over again. Like, oh, I totally forgot I bought this one. Yeah, I think we're gonna finish this section and then call it for the night. Let's see, this upcoming week, I don't actually have all that much going on, thankfully. Got a bit of a quiet week coming up. On Wednesday, I have to go to a urologist. We all have problems. I have kidney stones. It's fine, it's whatever. I just have to go see them to make sure everything's okay. Ren and I might go play in Joann's afterwards, just as like a little treat. Depending on how his mood is that day. I'm not taking him to Joann's if he's having a day. Other than that though, we don't really have anything going on, and that's really exciting. Those are the best kind of weeks where you just get to kind of hang out. At least those are my favorite kind of weeks. We might go to the park, or maybe I'll take him over to the nature reserve so that we can do like it's like a cute little mini hiking trail. That's all gonna depend on how my stomach treats me this week as to whether or not I can go out too far from the house. That's usually our restriction, is my stupid tummy. But that's okay. That's life. That's life. Let's see. Watching wise, I don't actually watch that much TV nowadays, to be honest. We've been finishing our yearly tradition of rewatching Gravity Falls. We watch it during the summer, and we usually have it done by my birthday, which is the autumn equinox, and that's when we start over the garden wall on the first day of autumn. And reading, I haven't been reading all that much lately. I started reading the Gallows fanfic on AO3. I got really into Hermione stuff lately. I don't know why, but I'm also not upset about it. Yeah, and other than that, I think it's raining. That might be a problem. I might need to go check on Red's toys. Anyway, other than the fanfics, I've just been trudging through Kingdom of Ash. I've been taking my time on that one because I know it's gonna make me cry. And I started A Court of Frost and Starlight. I've been reading ACOTAR and Throne of Glass at the same time just because I'm impatient. Yeah. So, I don't know, maybe by the next time we do a WIP Chat, I'll have one of those done. Yeah, I'd be curious what you guys are reading, if you have any recommendations for romantasy or anything like that. I got really into romance lately, but I don't read normal romance. I prefer it with dragons and magic and a little spice. I don't want normie romance, if that makes sense. Yeah, but I'm gonna finish this section probably off screen because I'm getting tired and my throat is starting to get dry. So I'm gonna let you guys go. It's been so much fun chatting with you again, and I'm really glad that I did this. Thanks for hanging out with me and spending your evening or day or morning or whenever you're watching this with me. For me, it's like 10 o'clock on a Sunday. But yeah, so I'll catch you guys in the next one. If you liked this, please hit the like button, let me know. Leave a comment below your thoughts and what you guys have going on this week. And if you want to stick around and follow my crafting journey and be alerted the next time that I'm able to post a video, if you hit that subscribe button and the bell, YouTube will actually let you know. But yeah, this has been really nice. Have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.